Good morning. Welcome to SimWorld today on this very special edition of our Friday episode. Rick Blaze is back in the booth with me. Good morning, Rick. How are you?
That's why it's special, because I'm here, Marsh. I'm good to
Nailed
go.
it.
It's Friday. Players only live once. Polo.
It's more special because it's not more special. You're Rick's right. It's special because Rick's here. It's also special because it is the official kickoff day of the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony this afternoon at 2 p.m. Not a ton of events this morning, unless we're really into 10-meter air rifle, which we had some training for. That started at 3 a.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow will be the big one. Everything gets rolling. I mean, set your alarm clocks. 2:30. Badminton, mixed doubles, women's singles.
Wow.
I mean, we are rocking and rolling. Talk about not needing sleep. Rick, I've been asking everybody else this, so I'm going to ask you this. If you could do one Olympic sport and be proficient at it, not just showing up, like you're competing, what are you doing?
I'm waiting for dominoes to become an Olympic sport. They got ping pong right now. They got badminton.
I'm
I
not
think
saying you have to be
dominoes.
good at it right now. I'm saying you get to automatically be good at it.
I am automatically good at dominoes, Marsh.
I know
That's what
that.
I'm trying to say. I'm a professional domino
You,
player.
all right. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know what? I'm not gonna squash your vibe. So if you want to be an Olympic dominoer, you can be an Olympic dominoer.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I've been asking everybody. I'm gonna just say it. 100-meter. That's what I want to run. The chance that you could be the fastest man on earth. That's awesome. Hey, Rick, let me tell you something. We're gonna get into it. I know our producers are not happy with this long intro.
Wait, Marsh, you picked the. You didn't want to
I
pick
want to be the
something
fastest man on earth.
close to what you're already good at. You just went all the way for the gusto.
Oh, no, Rick. Here's the thing, Rick. I know I'm not the fastest man on earth, but let me just tell you, I've never been beaten in a race. That's all that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm saying it. I'm just saying I'm not the fastest, but I've also never been beaten. Use that information as you will. And this is not me saying I never run around. Trust me, we're running around over here in South Florida, but never been beaten in a race. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's jump in. Your Olympic preview, Rick. You were diving in 2 weeks. I know Rick might not be a locking into badminton type of guy. That's fair. But what are you looking forward to in the Olympics this year?
Well, the first I'm looking forward to is King. But if I'm being honest, the names I know most of are the USA basketball players' names. So the basketball is number one. After that is soccer and gymnastics. Soccer's kind of is growing on me. I really I played as a kid, and I coached it a few years ago, the girls soccer team, and I think they kind of really won me over. Plus, in Texas, soccer is is kind of a big place that people gather, get drunk, drink a lot of beer, and have fun and talk mess about people. That's right up my alley. So I like watching soccer in Texas. It's kind of a fun thing.
Then you get to slide tackle somebody just whenever you feel like it. I'm with you there. For me, basketball, it's interesting, but I kind of just feel like it's only interesting if the USA isn't any good.
That's crazy talk, Marsh.
This should be a runaway. I like hoops, but this is going to be a runaway. Here's the thing: we get to watch basketball every single day, pretty much, right? Pretty much there's basketball opportunities every single day. There's not every single day other things going on like road cycling, which I think is, if you like NASCAR, sign up for road cycling because it's better than NASCAR because these dudes are just not behind the wheel. They are just churning it for like an hour and a half, exhilarating once it gets towards the finish. Also, not to be overlooked, archery. Locked into archery a couple years ago during the 2012 Olympics, and I was more than impressed. That got me jazzed up. Can I shoot archery? No, I cannot. But get very excited for it. And then, of course, track and field. Just beat the title of fastest man, fastest woman on earth. I think Noah Lyles he was the kind of early favorite for the 100-meter men's dash, has really built himself up with a little bit of a persona here over the last couple of months and years, where he's kind of talked smack about American sports claiming to be world champions when he says that we don't compete against other nations. I'll hear the argument, although I would challenge the best EuroLeague team to come to the SWBA and try to put up a fight. Probably wouldn't happen. But just the title of fastest man on earth, and then on top of that, what he's kind of put on the line. If he doesn't walk away with a gold medal, I think that it doesn't invalidate, but I think a lot of eyes will be on that. Because I think that Rick, that title, fastest man, fastest woman on earth, unfortunately for our culture, man tends to carry a little bit more weight. But I mean, look at Usain Bolt. He changed his entire life during the '08 Olympics by just running away with everybody. And now he's a household name that just doesn't really happen outside of like Mike Phelps in other Olympic sports.
True.
We're locking it again. That's coming up today. Opening ceremonies at 2, and then really gets rolling tomorrow, the 27th. I'm not anticipating many people wake up for 2:30, but you know what? If I'm having a little sleep on or insomnia, would not be opposed to putting it on. All right, let's head over to SimWorld U. We've been locking in this week on SimWorld U. We're going to keep that rolling, where ESPN unveiled the first of their, what I assume to be 5-part SWU recruiting rankings. They went 20 through 25. St. Mary's came in at 20, Houston, Alabama, Villanova, Kansas, and Ole Miss. Rick, your takeaways, what stood out to you on these 6 teams that kicked off their rankings?
Well, I think, of course, it's going to be a little bit of homer bias to this, but, it is what it is. Houston, I like what they did as from a recruiting standpoint. They brought in they already had some really good guys on the team. The Cougs have been really competing. They've been like a top 4, top 5 team for the last few years. So to bring the class that they brought in, headlined by Cola, I think the headline of their class, and to see how they're gonna work well with Binley and some of these other guys. They can have a 3-guard system, which I think is what works in Houston's favor. I like Houston. I know it sounds like a homer pick, but I really like the Cougs and what they did for this class.
You think they're underranked at 21?
100%. Well, it's hard to say, right? I could say on paper they are underranked, but man, with these kids and the way things work out, you never really know until the season kicks off, right? Who had Miami winning it this past season?
Yeah. It's not an obvious, and it's a little. I think it's twofold, right? One, we don't know what the rest of the rankings look like, so it's kind of be like, oh, who are you? The classic argument: who are you knocking down if you're going to pull somebody up?
Right.
At the same time, I think it speaks volumes to the depth and the uniqueness, which I think has been talked about quite a bit, about the fact that this recruiting class did not have one school that just dominated with top recruits. It was very spread out. A lot of schools got a lot of top guys, right? I mean, we talk about Missouri just being unable to land anybody else except for Jaffet Towns until pretty much signing day. There just wasn't one school that just kind of ran away with it. That being said, I think Villanova is a little underranked. Justin Bell's a top 10 guy in this class.
He is.
Him alone, and if we're going to turn around and we're going to see a class, like I would expect to see Illinois higher than them, I would expect to see Duke higher than them. If Missouri is higher than them, who they, again, got nobody except for Jaffet Towns, I think that's a huge discrediting to Justin Bell, because if you're just going, oh, they got one superstar and he's really good, Justin Bell is a superstar who's really good. And so to put them at 23, in my opinion, is a little low, operating under the assumption that we're going to highly rank other schools. Like I said, Rutgers, Illinois, Davidson, Missouri. If those teams come in above Villanova, then I'll have an issue.
Wait. You hold on. You think Missouri's going to come in the top 25?
I don't think they should, but that's what that's the lack
they
of.
Can't. They can't.
I agree with you, Rick. I agree with you.
That's
because
crazy.
They got one guy. I know he's the number 2 recruit in the nation. I understand that. But they literally got nobody else during this recruiting process. And so if they come in, truthfully, I think that's a 25 team. Like, that should be their cap. As high as they can go. If they're coming in the top 20, that's where I'm going to start kind of being like,
we riot.
I disagree with that one.
We riot if they come in higher than Villanova. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm with you. We will take to the streets
There you
of
go.
wherever J Rock is located, and
Yeah,
we
we're
will run
taking it
with
to the
it.
streets. I'm with
All right,
that.
let's stay SimWorld U. We've been talking a little bit of Big 12 action yesterday. We talked to Arthur Lattimore with JK. I wanted to bring up Suno Chapa. He had a very under the radar for if you want to call him that, but under the radar season in that West Coast Ballers was a mid tier team. They were good. Suno Chapa really arrived on the scene in terms of going from Gulf Coast lockdown, where he wasn't necessarily highly featured, to headed to Oakland to West Coast Ballers, where he really dominated. I think about 18 points per game and highly efficient. So the question is, Oklahoma a one-star team around Suno Chopper? Or do you think they have some other pieces that are going to help them be competitive in the Big 12 and also in the national landscape?
I do. First of all, I read the piece about some of the SimWorld U players maybe having a transitional difficulty type of, and I think OU is going to be just fine. They're going to be a scrappy team, which plays into favor with the Suno Chop. First of all, let's give credit where it's due. Suno Chop is a 3-level scorer. Give it to you in the inside, mid-range game. His 3-pointer needs some work, but he can shoot the three. And then you couple that with athleticism, and he competes on the defensive end. I think that's the type of team OU is they're gonna rely on the defense. They're gonna muck it up. It's gonna be take a lot of the time to half court game, take a lot of the shot clock, and they're gonna try to score 50 points, 55 points, and let the other team score less than that. It's not gonna be a high scoring, high flying one of those teams, but I think they have the makeup to compete in the Big 12, and I think Suno Chapa personally is going to play really, really well. I think people are going to be surprised on how well he fits in with this team this season.
I've been big on Suno Chapa from the get-go because of what you talked about. He has been he's a dynamic 3-level scorer. Yes, his 3-point shot isn't great, 28%, but there's no fear in taking it. He made 28 of them, which gives you confidence that should it come around, he's going to be deadly from it. And then the best kind of proof point for that is his 87% free throw shooter. And so scouts just consistently look at, if he's not shooting well from three, is that a form issue, or is that just a kind of maybe sample size issue? 87% from the free throw line tells me he's got a good jump shot form. It's repeatable, and that can be translatable into 3-pointers. He also was very heavily relied on. But what I think Suno Chapa does the best is that he is a playmaker that is not solely reliant on scoring. 18 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, led his team in assists. Justin Bell did not have 4 assists. D'Angelo Jordan did not have 4 assists. This is a guy that, with the ball in his hands, is not a singular I'm scoring guy, but rather we have other dudes that can get rolling, and I think that's a huge part of why guys like Arlo Cook shot 54% from deep. It's why Ali Cortez was a valuable player for that team. It's why DJ Davis shot in the 40%, made 44 threes during the season, because Suno Chapa at 6'6" can not only score for himself, but he can get other guys rolling. Now you're going to pair him with a guy like Jace Miguez, who you might be familiar with down in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
He had a fantastic season for Lone Star. And so if that's going to be my 2-3 matchup, Jace Miguez at the 2, Suno Chapa at the 3, I love that for Oklahoma heading into Big 12 play.
100%. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. He has the stroke. He has the moves. I like Jason Miguez as well. It's going to be fun in OU this year.
All right, we've got another prep guest joining us today as we wrap up our Friday edition of SimWorld Today. We're bringing in Jay Midoriya. I screwed it up, Jay. I told you I was going to forget.
Midoriya.
No.
Like a Midori sour, but we switching it up.
Jay, come on in here. Correct us, please.
Yeah, Jay Midoriya.
Okay, we didn't screw it up. I was in my own head. I screwed myself up. Good morning, Jay. How are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Marsh. Thank you, Blaze, for bringing me here today.
For sure.
Well, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you on, North Carolina guard. Tell us what's been going on lately. How are you feeling as we start with still some unknowns on when it's going to all take place, but SimWorld Prep will begin kind of filling out rosters. What's that process been like for you, kind of getting your toes wet? I know you've been having some good pickup games, so what's been going on?
So really, I got a lot of offers really to the going forward. I actually Just got done hooping. As of earlier, I had like a private run with me and my brothers. Um, just got finished also watching like Kobe and everything. But had a couple of offers here and there. I'm just gonna sit back over and say, believe in the Bay, to be honest. But other than that,
Mm,
nothing more.
mm,
Believe in the Bay. Okay, interesting
mm.
start for a North Carolina kid.
My Scooby Doo detective skills antenna just went up with that statement.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely, most definitely. But other than that, nothing really too much. Just been hooping and just been, studying the game.
Rick, you're
J-
you're up. Your question time, my man.
Jay, let me ask you. You doing these runs. We like your game. I gotta ask. I have to ask. Who so far has been the most fun busting their ass? Who would you have the most fun so far? I know it's early. I know people don't want to get into, but who would you have the most fun busting ass so far in these runs?
See, I've been in a lot of places, so it's too much to really, talk about. Um, being at home, to be honest with you, I like hooping against the James brothers, to be honest. They really
Mm,
competitive. So, really just to get some wins against them is pretty cool. Um, to be honest, it's this one dude in North Carolina I hooped against earlier. I mean, like he talked really a lot. I like Kai Game, but I think it's Kai Dior. It's too
yeah.
many Kais
Okay.
in the
Uh huh.
league.
Uh huh.
I think it's Kai
Okay.
Dior. I like him. I like him a lot though. I ain't gonna hold you. He kind of backed his game up, but sometimes with him talking too much smack, and you also want to play against him too. It's also I also hooped against Rob too, Rob Dillingham. So it's a lot of people.
All right, Jay,
Nice.
I'm gonna go off the court because I know you consider yourself what is the YouTube channel. We'll get a little plug for you. I don't know if we're allowed to do that. We're gonna do it anyway. Average Pokemon trainer, right? So I'm curious, what's your go-to Pokemon? Whether that's and this is the other question. Average Pokemon trainer. Are we talking cards? Are we talking the game Pokemon Go? What are we playing on, and what's the go-to? Who are you rolling out if you had to choose one Pokemon to roll out with?
So to be honest with you, if I had to pick one Pokemon, it would be Chimchar. Uh,
Okay.
to be honest, that's my starter Pokemon automatically. And then I usually play the game more times than not. I always download the new game.
Okay.
I mainly play it on like the computer, to be honest, like downloading emulators and stuff, and then just playing from there.
All right. I'm more of a Cyndaquil Typhlosion evolution guy myself, but I can't hate it. Um,
Uh,
all right.
I
All
got
right.
you. I got you.
Rick, what you got?
Well, first of all, I'm just listening because I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, I look, you guys are talking. He's talking about Pokemon. You talking about Nyquil. All these things are going way over my head right now.
All
I'm
right.
just trying to catch up. I'm just trying to keep my head a little bit above water, gentlemen. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and I have no idea what you're talking about. But it sounds interesting.
No, I got a real
It's
quick
always
question for you,
interesting.
Blaze. I don't
Yeah.
mean to cut off real quick, but I got a real quick question for you, Blaze. Like pop culture wise, what do you watch?
Uh, man, it's hard. I like a lot of comedy. Talking about like I like comedies and I like a lot of different things. But I've kind of out the Pokemon loop. I think I'm one of the few people that's out the Pokemon loop. It's like, once something happens and it kind of takes off and you're already behind. I'm not Marsh. I can't run 100 meters. So I just stay behind and I don't try to catch up with that. So I'll see though. I'll look into it for you guys. Next time I talk to you, Jay, I'm gonna have a Pokemon something that I'm gonna know about it. I'm gonna get into it.
Nah, I got you. I got you.
Jay, I see that you asked Rick if he's up in pop culture, so clearly understand where you're coming from. You don't think I have any pop culture
It's
knowledge
okay,
going on,
Marsh.
so I
It's okay,
appreciate
Marsh.
that. I appreciate that confidence, Jay. Really, really great. Jay, what's last thing, and then we'll let you go. North Carolina obviously has got a hotbed of hoops. Is UNC the number one school as you're kind of looking very far into a couple of seasons into the future? Is it Chapel Hill or nothing, or are you seeing yourself as somebody that might be branching outside of the state?
To be honest, I would more than likely branch outside of the state. I'm originally from Brooklyn. My pops is from Pineville, North Carolina. I moved down here. I was like 13. So no, now hooping here. Really like I hoop in New York more times than not when I was younger. My grandfather runs a basketball tournament actually in New York. I don't know if you guys ever
Nice.
heard about it. It's called West 4th Street. So West 4th Street, over there in Manhattan. That's mainly where you guys will probably catch me at if around the summertime. It's actually going right now. The playoffs is actually about to begin. You can find it on Instagram and stuff. But other than that, I would more than likely look outside of the state. Of course, North Carolina for life. I'm a huge Tar Heel fan, by the way. But schools like Syracuse, Villanova, Rutgers, UVA. I even think about Arizona from time to time. Just standing outside of being outside of the state.
All right. Well, look, Jay, best of luck with all that. Best of luck with the upcoming SimWorld prep decisions and all that's to come there. We'll keep a close eye, but more than anything, thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to following along and chatting with you again soon.
Jay, thanks for joining us, man, for sure.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Morris, Rick. Hey, appreciate the love, man.
Is
All right,
Goku a Pokemon? What about is
No,
Goku
Goku is
somebody?
not a Pokemon. No,
See,
no,
I'm about to
Goku is
look. I
not a
tried.
Pokemon.
I
Okay, so
tried.
no,
you took a swing, Rick.
I don't mean to like ask real quick. So who you think is stronger than Goku or Superman, Rick?
I gotta go Superman. I'm old school with it, man.
I mean, I got you.
We will
Kryptonite or
end
bust.
on that one. We will end on Superman over Goku. Thanks to Jay for joining us. Rick, thank you for coming on again this Friday. We will look forward as I go into Paris Standard Time to the Olympics coming up. We'll be back on Monday where I will be sleep deprived but locked in on all things happening overseas. This has been SimWorld Today on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.